Well, what time call? Welcome to, this is Tom, your host for the Hidden Truths channel. And welcome to my Sunday Night Live broadcast. And tonight we're going to be talking about, has the human race gone insane? You know, I get told all the time on my live chats I'm crazy. And I think I may just be joining the club if that's true. Anyway, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So, anyway, there's lots of things to talk about. I think it was in Kentucky. 2 people killed, 3 wounded, including a state trooper or whatever that stopped before he went on a shooting spree. I mean, the whole story sounds a little confusing to me. Sounds like that crook had a lot of time to do a lot of bad stuff. Anyway, strangeness, especially after you shoot a cop. You figured they'd be all over you like white on rice, but that guy was even able to make it to a church when they're able to trace the car that he was stole. And anyway, there's something about strange about that. But just goes to show you, even in church, okay, you got to have that third eye going all the time. And you people that believe in conceal and carry, and the Second Amendment and stuff. Okay, like I say, we all need to protect our neighbors from these bad guys, because it doesn't seem like the bad guys are having a problem getting a hold of weapons and doing bad stuff. And, and it looks like the cops can't even stop them now until it's too late. That's why we need good Samaritans. It's every American's job to watch out for their fellow American. You don't need a gun or a badge or so-called authority from the government to protect your fellow citizen. You can do that at any time. But that church shooting, that's a bad thing. But I can't wait to hear the details on that. If it wasn't some foreign national, it was probably somebody that had a lot of pharmaceuticals in them. But anyway, and then they said that the car he was driving, they had a Drake. Semper Fi, my hey, you a devil dog too, Drake? I love meeting devil dogs all the way. I'm right, Semper Fi. Always faithful, and I will always be faithful to the Constitution and to the American people and to the American culture. Anyway, I see we got a few people coming in. Let's get on with the subject, okay? Hoorah, you damn right. Little yellow birdie with the little yellow bill landed upon my windowsill. Remember them days? Oh, the good old days, right? Anyway, let's talk about, is the human race going insane? Because I'm really starting to think it is, okay? And I may be one of the casualties to it. I don't know. I get told on my live stream that I'm crazy all the time. But watching some of these, especially TikTok videos, and I'm going to do my video on this, my live stream on this tomorrow night, how TikTok is just a Chinese spy. It's the way they're spying on the United States, and American citizens are just helping them out. Okay? But these videos that I'm seeing on TikTok especially, I mean, now the other side thinks that the Trump administration is loading these illegals into cargo planes, flying over the Atlantic Ocean and throwing them out. Okay? Well, let's see. We know there isn't a cloud seeding going on, right? But now they're throwing illegals out of planes, right? They're opening the back end of these big C5s and cargo planes and C-141s and just chucking them out the back, right? Who honestly believes that? This is this mental illness. See, mental illness isn't treated, and this is what happens. Nobody in their right mind is going to throw somebody out of an airplane. Although I have heard stories. I had a Vietnam buddy. He died a couple years ago, so I'll share this story. But when he was in Vietnam, he had to go somewhere. They flew around in choppers there when they had to go to another part of the country or whatever, and he had to go somewhere. I don't know if it was for glasses or I can't remember what the hell he said it was about. Something small and trivial, right? Well, anyway, when he was coming back to his base, maybe it was, I can't remember if he come back or going, but anyway, there was these two intelligence officers that had this Viet Cong prisoner in the two prisoners in the chopper. Okay, and they're interrogating him, and then I guess this one was being belligerent, wouldn't talk or whatever. So one guy threw that guy out of the chopper, and all of a sudden the second Viet Cong was nothing but a talking machine. He said. Anyway, Drake, your message was retracted. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, so I mean, but that's wartime. But seeing some of these videos, I mean, people that are dressed up in these pride outfits, all painted up and stuff. You've seen them, okay? Just go, you've seen the mental illness on display. And these people don't even know there's anything wrong with them. I mean, they think that I'm supposed to accept that stupid shit and maybe even act like it. And then the way some of these people look, I don't know if it's because they're so deranged inside that it's just starting to manifest itself through their physical appearance. That could be it too. I'm not sure. But let's just say that some of these people are unhinged. I mean, we're way beyond people thinking they're animals or people thinking they're another gender or people thinking men can get pregnant. We're way beyond this point, okay? I mean, this mental illness epidemic that we're having in this country especially. I mean, you think it can keep going on without that destroying our country? These people are sick. And I'm assuming some of them are probably hurting inside. That's why, I don't have a crazy mind, or some people say on YouTube I do. But I think they truly know that shit is tolerated, except, tolerated. By who? Like I say, when you're walking down the big city, it's not the thug with the gun in his pocket you got to worry about. He's going to deal with the store. Not like the store owner should feel privileged about that. But you're talking about the people that want to throw gasoline on you and throw a match on you, stick you with a needle, follow you, make you feel uncomfortable. And, and they don't even know it's wrong. I don't know how some of you people live in the big city. I mean, I live out here where I don't have to deal with it, right? Rohan Gardner, hi. I don't have to deal with a lot of this stuff because it would all be chased out of the area I am. We would never accept such behavior. People started acting like that around here. They would be in an ambulance headed to the hospital for treatment. We don't put up with that kind of distractions to our society or disruptions in our society like these other people deal with. But I'm really starting to feel that, like I've always said, I've been saying that I believe that Homo sapien is breaking into two species. I mean, some of these people don't even act human. They don't even think they're human. Oh my God, it's just like, can anybody see this? And it's growing day by day by day by day. It's just getting worse. Okay? Ain't that the truth? Like, yeah. How do you live in a big city and got to deal with this stuff? How do you send your kids to school? I mean, kid can't even walk free in the city anymore. Not just kid, but everybody. The danger's all around us. Okay, and then on TikTok, this is where the mental illness just creates, and this entitlement mentality that this country's created through mental illness, where people live their whole life on Section 8, don't understand, that you should go out and get a job like everybody else. Yeah, social services are good to help people out, but they should live in it. I'm scared to send my son to school. He starts kindergarten this year. Are you in a big city? Chicago used to property deal with the shit once. Now take a look at the city. I'll never return. Cities are being taken over. I don't understand why a prepper or conservative, you gotta love money a lot. If you're making so much money in a city that you're willing to live in danger every day for that money, I don't think a green piece of paper is not really, but it's mostly immigrants here. Yeah, I come from Minnesota. It's not just in the big cities. I come from small farming field, Minnesota, where I grew up. And Walnut Grove area, Little House on the Prairie, Springfield, New Orleans, Sleepy, Mankato. That's the area I grew up in. And it's all being taken over by Somalians. I mean, Walnut Grove is a town of about 800 people. How many busloads do you think you have to drop off in a town like that, take it over? And then Worthington's not about an hour's drive from there, right? And remember, Waltz was sitting there bragging about how 50 different languages are being spoken in Worthington. He's proud of that. In a town of about 6,000 people, he's proud that there's 50 languages being spoke there. And see, they say this stuff, think they're being intelligent, and they're proud of it. Can you imagine what it's like going to Worthington School as an American citizen trying to get an education when all they do is cater to 50 different languages? Boy, I wonder what the school budget is for that town. And it's a farming community. The only reason it's that size is because it's on Interstate 90. But still only it's about 5,000 to 6,000 people. 3 exits on the interstate for it. I mean, how can you be proud of that? Anyway, just another thing, it's not only mental insanity with the people on TikTok, but it's our politicians. And like I say, I think we're all insane too because we're going for this shit. We're going to debt, big, beautiful bill. And all the Republicans, well, I guess as long as Trump's adding to the deficit, it's okay because he's spending the money on what Republicans want. What about us Americans that don't want that money spent? I mean, the insanity going on here, where we're going to spend money on war and bomb the world into peace, right? That's what they're going to do. That's their strategy. We're going to bomb the world into peace. Well, if that's their strategy, there's a whole hell of a lot more bombing to go on. Because who's ever going to lose this fight, I guess their city's going to look like Berlin, huh? This is the insanity. The insanity where our government doesn't have to have a balanced budget. But your household does. Where the government's basically printing counterfeit money out of nowhere that isn't worth anything, and they get away with that. And if you were to do that in your basement, you're going to prison for a long time. We live in it where there's no Epstein list. And they think they're going to tell that lie. And like Trump's, this is all made up. Everybody needs to drop that. He killed himself in prison. All a pack of frickin' ass lies. But they expect people to believe that. Well, a lot of us actually still alive, went to school and got an education and can comprehend information, data, and facts to know when you're getting smoke blowing up your ass. But these people got to be insane. Trump has to be borderline insane if he thinks I'm going to believe that there's no Epstein list. He knows there's an Epstein list. Remember, he distanced himself from Epstein years ago because he knew Epstein wasn't on the up and up. So he knew about it, but did nothing about it. And as president, when he could have finally put these people away, he did nothing about it. At least the Republicans agree that, yeah, it's amazing. Even the news don't even have a problem with it. Hollywood don't have a problem with it. The only people that have a problem with it are the American citizen, both Democrat, Independent, and Republican. Like I say, the Republicans, because of this, just lost the House and the Senate during the midterms. And I really believe they lost the presidency in the next election. Because this is what Republicans are going to look like. Well, if we got to deal with it from our side, what's the sense of voting? And they're not going to come out. All I know is we have politicians that promise us this world and we get nothing. But insanity. Okay? Boy, they can sure say a lot of good things to get elected, but then it's just insanity afterwards, okay? And I don't even think Joe Biden was coherent enough to be called insane back then when he was in. Weekend at Bernie's for 4 years. I like that term for that administration. But what would you call this administration? Voters stabbed in the back? Hey, Cocoa Beans, I'm back. Appreciate you. Amanda, what happened if no one votes? Exactly. I'm glad you brought that up. Because I was going to the election this last time and I had a couple videos on my old channel to vote none of the above. Yeah, what happens if absolutely nobody votes on election day? Wouldn't that dissolve our government? Because an election puts when the next Congress starts up or the next president goes in, the people have to put him there, right? So if absolutely nobody voted to put anybody in office for the next 2 or 4 years, then I guess nobody goes into office, right? And the other ones come out. That would never happen. Believe me, you'd have somebody out there that would vote for the lesser of the two evils. If it had, there's so much brain, there's so much brain rot everywhere. Yeah, I tell you what, the last short I just put on before I went here is cool as hell. It's like if the smartest people on the planet are the wealthiest, well, then I guess the smart money is running the world into the ground, right? Only for would vote. Yeah. See, this is another thing. Our founding fathers never wanted. Okay? And our founding fathers would come back in time now and think we are insane, especially after the country, the government, and the freedom they gave us. We would think we were insane for letting the government take all this stuff, okay? You know, that's one thing our founding fathers never wanted. They never wanted where our politicians would be put where they could be voted in because they were going to give the citizens something. You know, hey, you vote for me, I'll sit there and take away your college debt, right? Which never happened. Hey, you vote for me. I guess Trump's not going on with the social services. He's just giving more money to other countries and stuff, right? I guess he's just going to bomb Russia into submission, right? He's going to end that war by letting Ukraine just give them more weapons so they can bomb shit. Insanity! Insanity! That's what we're dealing with. And then they get on TV, right? These politicians get on TV. Let's not forget about the congressman. I don't remember where he was from, and this was a few years back during Trump's first administration, I think. And I think Trump must have been putting more military equipment on Guam, right? And this Democratic politician sat there and said, well, we can't put too much on there. We'll capsize the island. And didn't even realize he said anything stupid. Doesn't anybody realize that we all live on the top of mountains? We all do, right? Isn't the land that's out of the water the top of mountains? Or am I wrong there? But anyway, that's what you get. And these are the people that are in charge of spending their money. See, this is the thing with politics. I'll tell you what it is. If you start going into political stuff and, the people there, they start seeing you and they'll start watching you. And the big money people, the people that the big money have there watching, observing things, they'll see this person that's attracting people to talk to them and listen to them, got the charisma and stuff. Well, anyway, they find their stooge, somebody that the public will buy. But they have control of them before that. Anyway, I may know a little bit about that. Unfortunately, only the bad guys will vote. Yep. But that's the world we live in, okay? Everybody wants to be a gangster, right? Whew. Anyway, but we need to start treating mental illness. We need to start calling people on it. We need to start calling people when they say stupid stuff, just like happens to me. I mean, in today's world, there's some of us that are still subject to them rules, okay? Because nobody cares about our feelings, or they look at us, I'm a white guy, heterosexual that can work his ass off, so I'm not allowed to be a victim, okay? I just got to be a victim to the victims. Bullshit, that's never going to happen. Sorry I'm late, but I didn't get the notification. That's okay, Carol. I wasn't going to go live tonight, but I decided after watching some videos tonight and seeing the insanity of the world that is not ending, I decided to go live, okay? Plus, twist YouTube around. I tell you what, they have slammed down on my channel so bad. I mean, it's like, really? Really? If you're on the interstate and you see me along the shoulder, putzing around at 3 miles an hour, that's because YouTube took all my gas. Anyway, when you start, this is what happens when you start talking about Trump and the Epstein list, okay? Because they're all in cahoots. It don't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. They're all in cahoots with the mass media. The elites don't have a problem getting along. The elites aren't fighting among themselves. They're making us do that, okay? So they can get their little way. But you get on here and talk about that and give your opinion on what you think the truth is. Like there definitely is a list, and they're protecting. That's all I got to say. The most heinous murderer in prison. In our prison systems we got anywhere. Find him. And he's still better than the piece of shit that's on the Epstein list. The Epstein client list. But don't worry. Those beyond terrible people are going to be allowed to run free because they're too big to fail and they're too big to jail. I hope you're having a pleasant evening. Yeah, I am. It was a hot ass day, I'll tell you that, but I love it. It cools off at night, and that's one thing. I'm going without air conditioning, trying to toughen myself up. Ain't going to matter when I live in my dugout. It's going to be a comfortable temperature all the time. But you get that cool wind here at night, it's relaxing. Nice, it's nice going outside at night and stuff. But it was another hot one today. But summer is here. It's about time because I'll tell you, the first week in June, up there in the panhandle, northern panhandle where I was doing fencing, in the mornings I still had to wear long underwear. Still see my breath and stuff. So the heat may be inconvenient, but I tell you what, I dealt with the cold too much. Semper Fi from a hurrah. Hey, Dave Harvey, you a jarhead too? Yeah, us Marines get together and start kicking some fucking ass. Tell you what, I'm tired of standing by to stand by. You know what I mean? Standing by to stand by. Waiting for everybody else to catch up. Waiting for the officers to, oh, what are we all going to do now? What's the plan of attack? Anyway, it's getting stressful. So, greetings from New Zealand. Well, thank you for being here from New Zealand. How's everything going there? You know, that's where all us rich elites are from this country are gonna head to when stuff gets crazy. So we won't have to deal with them no more. You'll have to deal with them in New Zealand. I would take them as illegal immigrants and kick them the hell out. Brother, I was a combat medic in the Army. Were you? Cool. Well, of course, in the Marine Corps, our medics, our sailors and stuff, we call them scrunts. That goes for squid grunts. So they were, some were very pretty impressive sailors and stuff. And those scrunts, they got the Marine Corps corpsmen, they got to wear the Marine Corps uniform except for the alphas. I mean, except for the dress blues, just with their Navy rank and stuff. Pretty interesting to see a sailor in a Marine Corps uniform. Anyway, but I never needed the medic much. I was one of them that believed and trained for the more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in combat. And believe me, I sweated a fucking lot. Anyway, but you know, and today your skills are going to come. You know, our oath isn't over, is what I'm saying. And if you've seen the worst parts of the world like I have, you can see everything's coming here, okay? And I got to see it during Reagan and stuff. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. I mean, like I say, the insanity of today's world. I mean, 1970s, Charles Manson was considered insane, okay? People knew he was crazy. How would he be looked at these days? Let's see what Charles Manson wanted to do. He wants to start a race war. I know our politicians are trying to start that. What did his cult leaders look like when he was going to his trial and his co-defendants, those three women? What did they dress like and look like? Kind of like the communist liberals today. But it's called normal today. I'm going great in New Zealand, just dealing with inflation here. Ha ha, yeah, well, money ain't worth nothing, everybody. That's why. If you can sit there and buy something with whatever currency you have, something that's, well, go up in value, can sit there and help you extend your life and it's going to last for a long time, buy it. Because when your money becomes worthless, it's going to be too late to get what you need, okay? But yeah, inflation's crazy. But in the United States, we don't have no inflation, right? Because they don't account anything that goes up, okay? They'll count ballpoint pens or placemats instead of food, gas, clothing, you know? I guess gas has come down a little bit. Ooh, we're only paying $2.95 a gallon. I remember paying $1, what, 20 a gallon? And my wages since then have gone up about 40% overall. And gas has gone up, what, 150%? Doesn't sound like it's lower to me. But see, they can fool the dumb people, the ones that are insane, the one that's got the most recent education. Anyway, I'm sick of it. That's why they can sit there, you know, if you don't give somebody the ability to think or an education, they'll believe they'll believe a lot of stuff. Especially they'll sit there, if you don't know who your enemy is, your enemy all day long will tell you who your enemy is. Okay, and that's what we have politicians doing nonstop. Hey, I tell you what, I want to go into this real quick. Channel will never ask for money, donations, or sell anything. If you want to support the channel, could you hit the thumbs up, the subscribe, and the bell notification? I'd appreciate it. That helps the channel grow and stuff. And believe me, YouTube's being extremely tough on me right now. My channel grew like crazy at the beginning, the first week of the month. I mean, I doubled my subscribers, got 100,000 views in 8 days, just hit the moon. And then, nope, too many. You're talking to too many people that may agree with you. I don't even care about people that disagree with me. I mean, you want to disagree with me? Come on, channel, we'll discuss it, okay? Firewood, ability to grow food, firearms, exactly. I got a wood burning stove, sir. Want to see it? There's my wood burning stove. That's all I have to heat a three level house. And it's got a blower on it and stuff. I got a ringer washer. Go to my channel, Lone Wolf Prepper Lives. I live a Lone Wolf Prepper's life, okay? I don't have a lot of bells and whistles, but yeah, I got a ringer washer from the 50s. I got an electric stove from the 50s. I got my wood burning stove. You know, nothing better than knowing I'm not paying $600-700 a month to heat my house. I mean, I got a grove full of dead wood. I got a chainsaw. And the nice thing about it is people, like, I don't store up 6 months worth of wood at one time. I go out every day. If I got a storm coming in, I'll store some up for a few days, but that gets me outside every day. Gets me out in the weather, gets me enduring the stuff, and gets me exercise, keeps me healthy, okay? Anyway, keeps me keep the mind occupied and sane, right? Anyway, this is the stuff that I would do that most people would say, you're crazy, you're insane. You use a maul, a push mower, use a shovel, a pitchfork, you're crazy. I mean, I talked to a lot of people that says, I don't know how I do without hydraulics. I said, yeah, you do. You just use your arms, okay? It's not about what you have. It's about what you can do. If you have the value skill set, you are valuable. Exactly. All these people running for gold and silver, you know, when shit hits the fan, you know who's going to have all the gold and silver? The people with all the skills. If you can learn a skill, I have been learning skills my whole life. I have never stopped learning skills. Or a better way to do something. The Guardian, say hi. Hi, Guardian. Appreciate you being here. Sorry I wasn't on this morning, but I couldn't get my stuff together. That's going to be a 2-hour. I'm trying to shorten it up, but that's going to be a long one. Anyway, that's going to be, I'm going to do a Sunday morning on my prepping channel. I'm going to do Prepper Church is what I'm going to call it. You know, I'm not an ordained minister. You know, you don't need to be an ordained minister to read the Bible and understand it. It's pretty simple. Just like you don't need to be a lawyer to understand the Constitution, even though they think so. It's written for the simple man to understand. I make alcohol, huh? Works good for a few too. Just the good old boys. Hey, I tell you what, that is going to be a skill. I don't know how to make alcohol because I don't drink alcohol. But that is going to be a skill that is going to be in great demand, okay? And just like everything else, the better the quality of it, the better you're going to be. But that is definitely a skill to have. Being able to make your own alcohol, whether it be wine, moonshine, your own beer, okay? Because people are still going to want to drink, so. Founding fathers had plenty. Yeah, well, I don't drink, so just never had a taste for it. Even when I was overseas, yeah, I drank sometimes and stuff, but, you know, I got really sick on hard liquor once, and I haven't been able to touch alcohol since. If you need some when the shift shows that Tell you, a lot of people are going to eat a lot of things, and when it all goes down, just imagine. We're talking about insanity and craziness in this country. Okay, this should be on my prepping channel, but just look at the insanity that's going to happen when SHTF hits and we don't have a supply chain, and all these people that are antipsychotics and antidepressants don't get their fix. I make honey wine and brandy. I left America 6 years ago, right before COVID had a name. Oh. All I know is through COVID, and I lived in Minnesota, a liberal state. I never wore a mask, went to work every day, never got sick, never obeyed the lines in Walmart, never social distance, never got the shot, never played Simon Says. Because I understood the Constitution and the Nuremberg Code, which protects citizens of the whole world. Might be something you want to look up. That's one thing Nuremberg Code protects all citizens from medical tyranny after what the Jews went through in World War II. What is your other prepper? It's called At Lone Wolf Prepper Lives. I used to have it Lone Wolf Prepper, but the Lone Wolf Prepper, you see my shirt? This was my shirt, member of the Wolf Squad. Carol's got one. Carol, you still got your shirt, right? That's the one and only now. I think could be worth billions of dollars one day. Hope you didn't get rid of it. I still got Sonny's shirt with Sonny's name on, but I don't know what happened to him. I haven't seen him in a while. But yeah, Lone Wolf Prepper Lives. Now that channel's growing slower, so I don't post a lot of stuff on there. But I tell you what, I did a video on how to roping, a prepping skill you need, and if you want to watch that. Anyway, I'm just seeing what channel grows. See, I should have been, when YouTube started slamming this channel real hard, I should have went over to Lone Wolf Prepper Lives and started hammering that channel. But the thing is, on this channel, I got people that want to come here and they like to hear what I have to say. Whether they agree with it or disagree with it, they like to, not that I want to say I feel obligated, but my purpose here is to spread the word, truth. My prepping channel, like Lone Wolf Prepper, the one I had, that dealt with political and prepping. Well, that's why I separated the two. Okay? But, this is about truth. This is where you can come. This is where all of us that believe that there is an Epstein list can come and say there's an Epstein list. In Eastern Europe, we don't have the American version of Vax. We had vitamins and supplement. Very few deaths from the Kung Fu. Oh, anyway, yeah. And then you had where Horsewormer worked here, where they call stuff mectified, what do they call it? I can't remember what they call it. But a horsewormer, where people were going into the hospital, hiding their horsewormer and rubbing their relatives' feet with it so the doctor couldn't tell, to get their family members better. Yeah. Erythromycin. And then the stuff that when I was in the Marine Corps, I had to take malaria pills when I was overseas, right? One pill for 6 weeks. That stuff supposedly worked for COVID too. But see, everybody see it was about money. Everybody see it was a game of Simon Says. If anybody ever studied the 1917, 1918 Spanish flu, like I did 30 years ago, in depth, you will see what we went through was not a pandemic. Well, I guess you could call it a pandemic, a new disease being introduced to the human species. But it wasn't as dangerous as they said it was. The Spanish flu took up to almost 10% of the world's population at the time. Oh, yeah. Of course, we didn't have a population of 8 billion. I think it was around 2 billion. But yeah, 10% of the world's population. And they tried to sit there and make it sound like this one was. Ivermectin. That's what it is. Ivermectin. Simple stuff. But they got to see who the insane people were, what people would sit there and follow them, which people couldn't think for themselves. They got them people all day long. And then they got those people that sit there and say, oh my God, you can't even breathe. I mean, you still got people that are so screwed up from the mind game that they played on the average civilian in this country that after 5 years, they're still in their car, wearing their mask, with their windows up by themselves. You would call that a bit insane? I mean, how Howard Hughes spent his last few years being scared of every little germ and the way he lived? You want to call that insane? You got some people that are doing worse than that now. You're right. These people are nuts. I saw a guy selling his whole... we got a bunch of assholes in here again. Tell you what, to make sure they don't come back, and this is what I'm tired of. You got to deal with this fucking shit from these goddamn morons. You know, I sit there and say insanity anymore. That's what you got. Fucking insanity. And these people aren't even embarrassed. That was one thing. I was watching these videos on these trolls and these pranksters on YouTube and social media. When they finally, piss somebody off to where, hey, I'm not going to take this shit. I'm knocking you fuck out. Can you imagine going through your life trying to be an idiot, an asshole, and trying to create conflict everywhere you go? Can you imagine living that type of lifestyle, thinking it's funny, it's entertaining, by insulting people? And then they film it and put it on social media. Okay, when I was growing up, it's not like we were perfect kids, okay? Right? But none of us sat there and wanted anybody else to know about it. We definitely didn't go to school and start bragging in school how we sat there and, I don't know, did something that everybody was talking about in town that was illegal, and you're in school telling everybody you did it, proud of it. But these trolls and pranksters, I love it when I see them get the beat down. Just the beat down. People, I mean, bam, and all it takes is one hit. Oh, it's a prank. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, we're cool, right? Bunch of frickin' pussies. Bunch of beta males. I mean, I saw a guy, I think Neon was his name or whatever, basically getting dressed down, called a beta male a little bitch when he was acting all tough. Oh, we're cool, man. We're little fucking bitch. If I was that black guy, I would have laid him the fuck out. That's what you get for talking shit about my brother, you son of a bitch. Yes, they're trolls, and pranksters are filming themselves breaking the law and nothing happens. Yeah. And that's why they're doing it. Nobody's held accountable. It's like you could sit in the middle of a road or interstate and you can stop traffic. I tell you what, all it's going to take is a few people to run those fuckers over and traffic don't stop. How Many times you think they're going to sit in the road again when they realize people ain't going to take it. Just like after 9/11. What happened when a terrorist tried taking down an aircraft after 9/11? Oh, that's right. Everybody in the cabin gang tackled his ass. Just like with these illegal ICE raids. That's all you got to do. Send your little force in first, to get the illegals in the factory, and then let all the morons surround the entrance of this place, thinking they're big and Billy badasses. And then with your major force, you show up all of a sudden and surround all the protesters. So now you got these protesters surrounded, and you create barricades. And you sit there and let them go through the exit, and you sit there and check their ID. If they're illegal, they get shipped out immediately. If they're a citizen, they get charged, just like the January 6th protesters. I mean, we all want to be treated with equity, right? Some guy walked into Walmart and sprayed all the produce with, yeah, I saw that. Is anybody old enough to remember why we got all these safety shit on pill bottles and all these containers we open up and consume? Does anybody remember what happened that caused that? The Tylenol capsule deal in Chicago, I think 7 people died. Somebody bought the shit off the shelf. It had no safety shit on it. Went back home and filled the capsules full of rat poison, I think it was. Put it back on the shelf. Yeah, that's why we have all this shit. Yeah, I saw that video of that guy with the bug spray too. Just like these flash mobs. Go into a store, completely demolish it, tear it up, and run out. And they got cameras everywhere. But they can't find nobody, right? Just like they had cameras at January 6th. Didn't have a problem finding everybody there now, did they? Even little old grandma. Didn't have no problem finding them now, did they? We live in an insane world, people. I'm sick and tired of the lunatics being in charge of the asylum. Okay? And treating us like we're the patients. I mean, I'm supposed to say be told I'm insane and crazy, but all I got to do is go to social media and say, okay, that's what they call sane. And the thing is, these people on social media is pushing that shit. Some of these retards are making thousands of dollars a day on social media for being absolute retards. Do we have that many people? The thing is, I don't understand, is most of the people that support these weirdos don't have jobs anyway. Anyway, just deal with the insanity in today's world. And in the big cities, God help you. Because out here in the little area where I live in, we'll make sure that these people that come here, if they try to act that way, and they get the proper help that they need, okay? We'll make sure that they don't go through life hurting anymore, suffering. We'll make sure they get the right help they need, okay? Because that stuff is not acceptable in this. I mean, I've seen some of these videos of these Pride supporters and how they were dressed up. My God, if you came to this area like that, even to the liberal areas like Ogallala, that's liberal now and shit. There's Sydney. They're not that liberal, though. You would get looked at like you were a goofball. Like there was something wrong with you. Anyway, we see it every day. The insanity never ends. Can we please stop the insanity? No, they want to create a bigger bubble of it where we all get sucked into it. You know, when I get told that I need to go see a psychologist or psychiatrist because I need to convince that men can have babies, I already got educated in school, already had health class. I know that can't happen. So who cares about what people wear? Well, I know I don't. I got teased on my other channel. You know, I'm a working guy, right? So let's just say a lot of my working clothes aren't in, clothes you'd wear to church. And you have these pristine people that probably wear a shirt once. Oh my God, your shirt's got holes in it. Really? It's finally fucking broke in. Believe me, I wear stuff till it can't be, when it's falling apart in the wash machine, then it's time, it's got to go. Kids shouldn't be exposed to that. Yeah, we're supposed to protect our children. I mean, I just know that the books that are in libraries today definitely wouldn't have been allowed in school libraries when I was a kid, or the public library. And that's one thing. All you guys want to get on how the burning books. Yeah, the Nazis burned books. Some good ones. But a lot of them were homosexual, transgender, and all the stuff that we disagree with. You know, they were burning them books. I'd say that was right either. But it sounds like I'm supporting Nazis. I'm not. It's just I'm trying to say that this has been tried before. The Weimar Republic was a very sick and twisted Sodom and Gomorrah place, which helped lead to Hitler. Because the German people had had enough. Kind of like with Germany and this illegal, all the immigration there and stuff, could lead to another nationalistic leader. Just like could happen here. Leads to another nationalistic leader. You know, when people have had enough and they just, we got to end this shit, and they look for a savior to do it. But we found out, a lot of people that think Trump's your savior, well, he don't think there's an Epstein list and, stuff like that. Pack of frickin' ass lies. Look up Johnny Smollett. Yeah, he went to Korea and embarrassed America with his parents. Was he one of those fucking... I seen a couple of there was that one Doherty kid. It's the same. You go through life with your main purpose of doing stupid shit to people, and you think it's funny, you get a kick out of it. Deranged. But if somebody were to do that to them, talk about a little bunch of crying little bitches. Oh, just a prank. I'm sorry. We're cool, right? Bunch of fucking wimps. Anyway, that's all I got for tonight. I've been on almost an hour already? No way. This went fast. Anyway, yeah, I want to. Trump is an isolationist, is a consumer. Trump is an isolated in a consumer country. It just doesn't work. I don't think Trump is he an isolationist. No, he's not an isolationist. If he was an isolationist, would he be giving money to Ukraine still and weapons? Isolationist is somebody who believes in no foreign entanglements, whether with troops or our money or any of our government whatsoever. But we are a consumer-based country. That's back in the late 80s and 90s, and all the politicians and CEOs got together and said we can get rid of our manufacturing-based society culture and move it overseas so we can make a lot more money, and we'll turn into a consumer-based society and have a lot more social program so people think they have money to spend on stuff when they really don't. We'll print money when we kind of fall short, raising inflation. One thing I will say, we do need to bring manufacturing back here. And with the tariffs, not to say Trump ain't doing some good things, but he's doing a lot of bad things. But with the tariffs, yes, we need to bring manufacturing back here. And I like to hear how Taiwan's going to be building factories in this country now. Well, no shit. You know why Taiwan's going to be making chip factories in this country? Do you know why? Because in a very short time, all those Taiwan companies, factories in Taiwan, are going to be run by China. That's why they're moving here. But let's not tell the public that. Tell me something I don't know. Trump can't get away from it because it's the Budapest Memorandum. American has an obligation to support Ukraine. Without that memorandum, we wouldn't be getting any help from America. But hey, remember our promise to Russia after they collapsed? NATO will not expand towards your borders. If they don't want to done the shit they did, I don't care. We don't need to stand behind nothing, okay? Obviously, our treaties we made with the Indians in this country were written in blood too, weren't they? Dude, can you even read but see the insanity? Insult, I gotta insult you. I gotta insult you. I want to insult you. All I know how to do is insult, insult, insult. Well, he's one of those that ain't going to make the world go around, okay? Boy, all these messages, delete it. What do you do? What do you do? But maybe I'll have a few more views, like say, hit the like, subscribe, and the bell notification, support the channel, because I'll never ask for money. I mean, there's plenty of other people out there that need help. Okay, that may need help for a psychiatrist and stuff. But anyway, loser trolls. I appreciate all you guys being here. I got them, Tom. Thanks a lot. I tell you, these people, when stuff gets crazy, how are they going to handle it? I mean, these trolls, you want to know what? We know what you trolls are like. I've seen videos of Tommy Tough Knuckles. I've seen videos of trolls and pranksters, a few of them today. I know what kind of little whiny beta male pricks you are. Don't worry about it. I won't sit there and come to your house and make you piss in your pants. Anyway, this is, I tell you what, Amanda, how does it feel to be a woman to see all these so-called men running around? Because anyway, I know it's hard to pick from, like I say, freedom of speech is my bad. They can't let anyone talk without being rude, free of speech. It's not called rude, okay? I want people in this chat so we can have an intelligent adult conversation. And this is when I was growing up, when adults got together, they want to have adult conversations. So what happens? The kids got kicked the hell outside. Right? Have a blessed night, Tom, Gary. Hey, thanks, Dave. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. Justin May, the rapper. Say hi. How are you doing? Glad you're here tonight. But I'm about to get off here, so. But I live stream every night, so. But yeah, this is the insanity we deal with. And these people aren't getting any better. We're just told we're supposed to be more tolerant and accept the crazier shit to come up with. I mean, could you imagine 30 years ago when Clinton was talking about homosexual rights and stuff, the military don't ask, don't tell? Back in the 90s, if they would have came up with a pride parade like they do these days, how many Americans would have been tolerant to that? Or we would have ended that shit right then and there and see how sick and twisted it was going, okay? Sub to your channel. I hope we can share knowledge. Yeah, that's one thing. I always say, if you shut somebody up and don't want to listen to what they have to say, you are limiting your knowledge. Okay? And in the Marine Corps, you got this knowledge. In boot camp, you got this knowledge book. It came in a little green. It was a small three ring binder, and it was your knowledge book. Remember that, Dave? All these people want to shut you up because they don't want to hear what you have to hear, like the short I made. Some people can't see what's coming. Some people don't want to see what's coming. And the rest of us prep for what's coming. Okay? And just some people are beyond help because they were never given a chance. Can you imagine that going to school and the teacher determining or somebody else determining what your limitations are? Instead of teaching you and finding out what your limitations are? School's got to be tough. A lot of things are going to change. And right now we got 2 generations in this country for sure. Yes, 2 generations that are getting completely lost, not be able to be functional adults, and are going to be dependent on the stronger of us throughout their lives. Our compassion, our ambition, our sweat, they're going to be depending on all of it, okay? Our security, okay? That's one thing why liberal and Democrat loves the government so much, because they take from us that have and thrive, have goals and achieve stuff. They take from us and give to those that would rather sit on their ass. This is the insanity we deal with in this country. Insanity. Like I say, it's not just crazies on TikTok. It's also the crazy politicians that come in front of the cameras all the time. How many times have you wanted to jap slap or bitch slap the politician that was talking on your TV screen? Because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. At all. Anyway, but I appreciate everybody being here tonight. I gotta go. So everybody have a great night. And we'll hope that my live streams pick up. But, YouTube is definitely fighting the truth. But one day, that's one thing about us. We listen to the truth. We're not afraid to hear the truth, so we can prepare for the truth. But there's a lot of people that are really going to be screwed in the end. And they screwed themselves. Let's remember, as a prepper, they screwed themselves. You didn't do it. Okay? You saw the signs. You were a good squirrel. You collected your nuts. And nobody else gets your prize except you. Okay? You can't fix stupid. And in these days, when the government's not around, the stupid isn't going to be able to be helped. Anyway, just one future we got to look forward to, unless all us vets and patriots happen to get together and decide to do something about it. Anyway, this is Tom with the Hidden Truth Channel. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night.